So the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, why is Judy so creepy? Oh my God. Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Spirit Soul Sense, Information for Your Soul. I am Charisse, and I want to review episode 8 of Greenleaf. They've been talking about Bob Whitmore's daughter for a while, Judy. The episode starts with Judy there talking to Grace, and from the very beginning, she is like so creepy. Like everything about her mannerisms. I mean, the acting must be good because I am convinced this woman in real life must be just as creepy. I also have a thing about light eyes, especially light blue eyes. I don't know if it's like conditioning because of, slavery, because I love like very African features and white noses, Jackson 5 nostrils, all those things. So I think light eyes may be part of my, how they call it, the trauma of slavery and all those things, has me just not wanting anything to do with it. And I just feel like her light eyes adds to her creepiness. It just makes her look super weird and like, oh my gosh, the way she kept saying daddy. I mean, I guess I call my father daddy, right? But to him, I'm not going to say to like people outside my family that I work with, well, daddy said, what? What? You're a grown woman. What? That is weird. Her interactions with everyone was like kind of off. When she was first interacting with Phil, I was like, do y'all have a thing? Like, do y'all currently have a thing? But then she said she was married, she was gonna divorce, and then she made that comment about how, oh, we're not supposed to talk about that, right? Like, they did have a thing. I cannot see Phil and his personality ever. Well, because Phil is such an opportunist, I guess I could see him being with Bob Whitmore's daughter. I don't see Phil, that personality, being attracted genuinely to Judy, but I definitely see her as the daughter of Bob Whitmore being something he think would help him align with Bob. I mean, the jury is still out on Phil. Bishop does not like Phil. So I don't like Phil. He's done. I don't believe anything he says now. I don't trust him. I mean, we saw Charity come back and like, use it. I will run my whole family under a bus for you because I feel so inadequate compared to Grace. Oh my God. Like Charity, like she needs some help. But I really appreciated when Lady May found out about Charity and Phil because she didn't just blame everything on Charity. She reflected back on herself and said, what is it that I could have done? Even if she was being facetious. She probably was being like super dramatic. But what is it that I could have done as the mother of this child to encourage this sort of behavior or this sort of need to pick men who really aren't in your best interests? Just looking at the facts about Phil, he is not someone that she should have been attracted to dating. Like he is against your family. How is it that you have like this strong pull to him? But it's really telling. Charity really wants to like find her place, feel valued and validated by somebody. And Phil is hitting all the spots. I really think Phil is a finesser. I like really, really think so. I think that the true Phil was coming out when she invited him to the party, the engagement party. The way he was saying like, am I really just going to get a girlfriend out of all of this? Like, we know he wants a lot more than that. Like, he's not just going to be happy with love. That's not his goal. His goal is to kind of take over. But we'll see. I mean, he really comes back smoothly. Like, what time do you want me to be there? I'm just like, Charity, just wait for it. I mean, I would love to be pleasantly surprised that Phil, I don't know, chooses Charity over a position with Bob. I really do not see that happening. I really think Phil has his eyes set on exactly what it is that he wants. And Charity is just one way to get it. But I could be wrong. We will see. A couple of random things before I talk about Karissa, because Karissa. Did y'all see Bishop in jeans? I really enjoyed that. I think this is the first time I've seen him that casual, like embracing retirement. I enjoy it. Like the church, the fight, you just relaxing. I think it's like a lovely, lovely thing. And Lady May and Grace, like, remember the two of them were always arguing, always back and forth. In the beginning when she told Grace, like, do not come here to sow discord in this family, like, whoo. And now they're like so similar. Like their histories, their secrets are out. And so now they're healing in better places. I really enjoy seeing them together. A lot of times when people are so similar, they really rub against each other wrong because they are not looking at themselves like with a clear lens. And so they see things in other people that remind them of themselves, and it makes them feel small, inadequate, like bad about themselves. But instead of like reflecting and thinking, I think maybe I'm bothered because that person does something that I do, and that might be bothering other people. No, they're just like, this person is messed up. I don't want to get along with them. I don't want to be around them. But the secrets are out. And so the both of them are in better places now. And so it's really nice to see them interacting so well. Moving on to Karissa. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's so many things. Okay. Karissa and Jacob. If you've ever been cheated on, if you've ever talked to someone who's been cheated on and heard them describe what happened before they found out, or even someone who doesn't know for sure that they're being cheated on, but you listen to them describe the things that make them feel like they have no real evidence, but things that make them feel like the person that they're with is not trustworthy, then you know that you really don't need a photo, you don't need a recording, you don't need to have caught the person to know when someone is cheating on you. You know it. You feel this sense of distrust. You feel like you're just not able to like be yourself or get the right information from someone. Like, you know they're lying when they're lying to you. Like you just know. Jacob knows Karissa is cheating. He knows. He doesn't want to admit it. He knows unconsciously, but he doesn't want to consciously admit it. Because if you consciously admit it, then you have to do something about it. And Jacob is not really in the position to do anything about it. I think he still wants to like save his marriage, which is why he went to that little boy and was like, oh, I think you should sponsor a school, my wife's school, trying to get in her good graces. Like that's not the way to do it. Nice gesture. Maybe would have worked for a woman who's healthier, but this is not the way to do it with Karissa. So Jacob knows she's cheating, doesn't want to admit it. Karissa feels guilty about cheating, as she should. If you're doing something, guilt is one of the things that we feel that gets us to stop doing the wrong thing or the thing that's hurting yourself or somebody else, right? So she feels guilty. Instead of admitting that she's doing something wrong or stopping that she's doing something wrong, her response to that is to like project and to blame Jacob for all these things that he did in the past, that he's already apologized for, that he's already changed his behavior from. The things that she's upset about him for doing, he's not even doing anymore. She's upset for a deeper reason. And it's that she's dissatisfied with her marriage. She wants different things than Jacob, doesn't know how to communicate those things, and so is cheating on him. Like, this is one of the ways she's getting back at him, regaining like a sense of control in her life. So she's always super disrespectful to him when she is feeling at her lowest. So him asking her, like, what were you doing at Fernando? We didn't see Fernando this episode, but anyway. What were you doing by Fernando? Like, really? And she could have just said, oh, I was looking for cufflinks for you, and ended it there. But no, she like went on the attack, like, where were you all those nights? I slept in this bed alone. When's the last time she slept alone? Like, oh my gosh, like, your issue right now is not the issue. Jacob can't see that, and he's like wondering, like, where is all of this coming from? Dude, come on. Come on. Like your father said, Karissa needs to feel loved. She needs to feel valued. She does not feel that in this marriage. And listen, the bottom line is they want different things. They've been to couples therapy before. When there is so much resentment and contempt, Karissa feels contempt for Jacob, right? Doesn't respect him, doesn't trust him to lead the family. There's not much that can be done to salvage something like that unless she actively tries to change the way that she thinks about him. Because at this point, I'm not sure there's much that Jacob can do to make her feel important. She needs to like decide for herself, do I want to stay, do I want to go? And I think she clearly wants to go, but there are a lot of benefits to being in this marriage still, right? They still live on an estate. There's still like all this money that she has access to. A lot of benefits. And that's why some people stay in loveless, sexless marriages for like all the other pieces of marriage that they get. Anyway, also with Karissa, legit plotting against the family. She worse than Charity. Like for real, for real. I mean, maybe she's not worse than Charity because she's not like blood, but the connivingness, oh my gosh. Going to Bishop, asking for the marriage certificate. I mean, following him, looking for the code. I'm like, you serious? The amount of energy it takes to do a thing like this. Wow. Okay. But thank God for Lady May, who is the ultimate planner, who is the ultimate discerner. Okay. She already knows Karissa's energy. Strike her down. So I thought when Karissa went up there to the safe that somebody was going to like bop, 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 come in, catch her. When I saw that safe was empty. Lady May, you be knowing. That's like, you just know. So smart. And I was like, Karissa, stop your shit. Like, this is a perfect sign. Turn back. I mean, find some other way to do this. Like, please, there has to be something else. The house is still going through, right? So like, you don't have to take down the whole family on your way out. Like, that's so not necessary. Maybe Karissa could benefit from her own individual therapy. How about that? How about you do some pastoral counseling, see someone who's gonna help you reconnect with Lord, Savior, all the Jesus Christ stuff, okay? Like, Karissa. I used to like her so much. So the last few scenes was Sophia with this really, really, really weird interaction with Dante. I mean, the whole running out of the party because someone mistook you for someone like, what? Why did that get you in your feelings? I'm not really sure I understand. But I guess her identity is tied to being the daughter of the golden child, which is Grace. And so she's not the only daughter anymore. And so she feels some type of way about that because all the attention is on AJ and getting him back and helping him instead of on her. I don't know that. Why does the attention need to be? I just thought that was weird. Her going with Dante. Dante is bad news, but I guess Sophia is in a place now where she gives like no fucks. Weird. That whole thing was going with him in the car. That was weird. Like, he was with your cousin's friend who's now living with. We'll see. Sophia does need help, but like, we'll see. The other thing is Judy saying, oh, here's something no one knew at all. Grace, we want you to lead. What? I mean, my first thought would be she's lying, but I know this is Christian folks. Why would they want Grace to lead? And so like, now what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Is this like all a ploy? They're still going to have control over the church if they get all those seats on the deacons board, right? They really only need to turn over one person. I think that's easy by giving them a really expensive gift. So even if Grace is leading, she still would have no power. So how does this have any appeal? We still don't want y'all to have half the seats on the board. No. I think this is an easy decision to make. No. End of story. But the power of it all, because, you know, the mission, as they say, it's like, the mission is to get back to church. So if Grace is in the position now to be head pastor, yes, she has the church. It looks like that on the outside, but you won't have any like control or financial influence. Also weird. Also weird. But ending with Charity saying, go ahead, release the tape, then you should be forced to resign, all that stuff. We'll see how it happens. I don't think Grace is going to resign. I don't think Phil is going to get the church. Maybe they'll both not get it. Wouldn't that be something? If Bob came in and said he wants to be head pastor of this church, he's too busy for that. What if he said he wants his daughter to be? I don't know. So weird. This Greenleaf family has all the resources, energy, intelligence to start over. But they are insisting on fighting. And I'm not one to give up, but I am one to pause. I am one to pray. And that does not seem to be what this family is doing in this type of crisis. And I think that would be the best thing. Pause. Ask yourself if this is really what God has for you. Bishop seems to be embracing his whole retirement. Like, take his lead or something, please. Whew. Oh, before I end, I really wanted to say, shout out to Charity's makeup artists, okay? They be doing it. Everything. Always on point, and I love it. I love it. Oh, the representation, it's important. And I thank all the people working on Charity, the actor. So good. There's 2 more episodes, so we'll see how it all plays out. Thank you for watching.